Hi everyone, I'm Alexis and welcome to Real Life. Today I am very excited to introduce to you our very special guest for this episode. He's no other than the President and CEO of Media One Creative Incorporated, the production house of RCTV Channel 36, and of course he's also a husband and a father. Everyone please help me welcome Mr. Mike Solon. Mike.
Hello, Alexis.
Hi.
Thanks for having me here in your show.
Thank you for being here on Real Life. Finally, you are here with us on our celebration of our 6th anniversary.
That's right.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. So Mike, how did you come up with the idea of starting an infotainment channel here in Cebu?
Well, actually, it was not my idea. It was the brainchild of our partners. In the beginning, we had four. It was Johan Young and Randy Pajes, who initially conceptualized the idea of having a local channel here in Cebu. I received a call from Johan Young, I think that was June of 2003, inviting me to meet with them. And when I did, they explained to me their concept and they were asking me if I could set it up and run it. And it looked very challenging, so I agreed, and this was in June, and by October of the same year, we've launched our CTV Channel 36 through Sky Cable.
So what were you doing when they gave you a call, June 2003? What were you doing back then?
I was actually on board in one of my afternoon shows as a DJ in one of the best radio stations here in Cebu.
Of course, and I know you as Mike Solo. So, Mike, tell us, what was RCTV like in its early years?
Well, how we started out? Well, this is a story that I always enjoy telling our friends. We started out with two computers owned by ourselves. We were four then. We were four partners, Johan, myself, Randy, and Kerwin Go. I think the computers that we used to edit were actually the computer of Kerwin and the computer of Randy. We had one camera. It was a home video camera.
Really, like a digital?
Like a digital camera, the first of its generation, back in 2003. And yeah, we started with that. We started with one editor, but before that, we edited it ourselves. We shot it ourselves, and then we started out with one editor and one office administrator. That's how we started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mike, I wonder, at what point did you realize that people were actually watching your show? I'm sure when you started, you guys were feeling like, my God, bay naman tanaw na to, bay.
Well, actually, what's amazing is the concept of RCTV was one of the first, or one of a kind concept here in Cebu. It was supposed to be a TV billboard showcasing advertising and information at the same time.
Okay.
And we were very lucky to have launched at the moment that these other real estate companies were also launching. And I think that the channel catered to their needs, basically because we offered full motion, color and sound. So this is what is needed in advertising a real estate company, especially if you're trying to sell real estate at that point in time. So we were able to air those infotainment commercials, and you know, people started watching it because it was one of a kind here in Cebu. It was one of the first.
Okay, so aside from showing all these real estate companies, what other content was, you know, shown on
Well, we started with that, but after a while, you know, it got boring, you know, having commercials, looping for several hours. As a matter of fact, our first loop was 1 hour. So you can imagine looking, you know, watching the channel for
24
times in one day.
Wow.
So we had to innovate again.
Right.
And come up with different shows. And one of the first shows that we've produced was that of Budoy's Small Time.
Yes.
And the dad of one of our partners, Bonnie Pajes and Cebu Business. Those were the first two shows that was aired in Channel 36 in RCTV.
Of course, I remember those shows.
Right.
So, Mike, I know that shortly after that, other stations have opened. How did you feel about that, and what did you do?
Well, we felt happy,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly. Personally, I felt
Mm-hmm.
happy because remember, we were in uncharted waters at that
Mm-hmm.
point in time. It was one of the first. It was not just one of the first. It was the first channel. It was the first concept to be adopted here in Cebu. And for people to follow would mean that we are doing something right
Mm-hmm.
and we are doing something with potential. So I felt happy, after a while, it became a welcoming thing for me because we've actually opened an industry. With launching RCTV and with the other TV channels opening up, it was a milestone for us.
Mike, what is the best part of being president and CEO of RCTV?
The best part,
Mm-hmm.
I think the best part would be the challenge. It is a very challenging job. Um, you can't just stagnate.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do the same thing over and over again. You have to think. You have to be creative, and especially patient.
So, would you recall? Can you recall any, like the most, I would say, challenging um, problem or obstacle that you
Oh,
had to overcome?
where there's a lot, as a matter of fact. Running a channel. Well, actually, it's not just a channel. We're running Media One Creative Incorporated,
Mm-hmm.
having RCTV as one of its products, but we have several other products.
Mm-hmm.
Like we make audio-video presentations for corporate clients. We
Yes.
make TVCs, TV commercials for different agencies here and in Manila. Challenges are always there, from booking people, from financial challenges, from so many other things. But I've always believed that the challenges that we've encountered is our driving force. It is what drives us to work. It is what drives us to excel and to overcome these challenges. And that's one of the reasons why I wake up early in the morning.
Perfect. Friends, do stick around because when we come back, we're going to get to know Mike Solon more right here on Real Life. So stay tuned.